Wow, stories.
Am I the idiot for confronting my husband about our lack of intimacy and ignoring his trauma? I'm a 33-year-old female Asian happily married to a 33-year-old male Asian. We have been dating for about 7 years prior to marriage. My husband has been really amazing. He really loves me, kisses me, hugs me, tells me he loves me very frequently, irons my clothes, does laundry, cleans the house. He is also good looking. I mean, he is literally everything you can ask for in a man, except for when it comes to intimacy. I am a very open-minded person. I assumed we never had intimacy before marriage as he respected our culture. Unfortunately, it has been a sexless marriage for the past 5 years. Initially, I've been extremely frustrated but shy to bring this issue up. The one time I confronted him, it became an argument and quickly made me feel like I'm not cultured enough for bringing this topic up. He even said at multiple occasions that marriage is not about intimacy. He gave multiple reasons for refusal, claiming he feels extremely ticklish and he does not know what to do. P.S. He works under healthcare. The most we have done is kiss. Whenever I touch him further, he pushes me away, saying he is ticklish. And if I go further, he says I'm purposely doing it knowing that he can't take it. We have never even seen each other naked. And honestly, whatever love that I had for him has been wearing off. I can't even recall when I last initiated kissing him, because I know that it's not going to become anything more intimate. Most of the time, I'm just wondering if he is gay. I've confronted him once about it and it pissed him off. And there was once he said it's because we are not ready to have kids. I mean, how dumb can a person be to know that having intimacy is not equal to wanting to have kids now? Also, being an Asian, his mother has been bugging me on when I'm going to give her grandkids. I've been focusing on my career and let this pass, trying to not let it haunt me. However, it is getting more and more frustrating as I am a very sensual person. I do not know how to bring it up anymore, as every time I talk about it, there isn't any conclusion. I mean, it's been so many years, anyone else would have left the relationship. I don't even know why I'm staying. Like I said, except for absence of intimacy, he is really a gem. What should I do? I pretty much know communication is the key solution, but it is so hard to communicate about this. Underscore 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 underscore. Thanks for all the feedback. Really appreciate it. Unfortunately, there isn't any update right now. Since it is already a long-standing issue, it is going to take me some time to talk to him about it again, when I am ready to do it calmly instead of being infuriated. Thanks again, everyone. Now for a few comments before the update. Comment 1. He is either gay, asexual, not attracted to you, or has some serious trauma he has not addressed. At this point, you just need to sit down with him and say explicitly, I am not happy in a sexless relationship. We need to talk about why you do not want to have intimacy with me, and if that is ever going to change. I know it is hard, but it is literally the only way you are going to get a clear answer. Do not let him deflect or refuse to discuss it. If he absolutely will not talk about it, or he claims he will try, but nothing changes, that is his answer. No shame in ending a marriage with no intimacy. Comment 2. Your husband sounds asexual, and while that is a valid orientation, your behavior has made it clear that you are not and you should not be forced to live sexlessly for him. Talk to him about dating other people and having intimacy outside the marriage, and let his mom know not to hold her breath. If kids are something you want, you will not get them here. So consider that as well if you decide to stay here. Now for the update. Thanks for all the feedback. Really appreciate it. So, 2 weeks ago, I finally mustered the courage to bring up the issue again with my husband. I decided to approach it differently this time, trying to be as calm and understanding as possible. We were having dinner, and I gently steered the conversation towards our relationship and how much I valued everything he does for me. Then, I brought up the topic of intimacy, emphasizing how important it was for me and and how it affected my emotional well-being. To my surprise, he didn't get defensive this time. Instead, he looked genuinely troubled and admitted that he had been avoiding the topic because he didn't know how to address it. He confessed that he had been struggling with something deeply personal that he had never shared with anyone, not even me. He promised to tell me everything, but asked for a little time to gather his thoughts. A few days later, he sat me down and revealed his secret. He told me that he had been sexually abused as a child by a close family friend. The trauma had left him with deep psychological scars, and he had never sought therapy or talked about it with anyone. He said that every time we got close to being intimate, the memories would flood back, making him feel vulnerable and scared. He apologized for not telling me sooner and for making me feel unloved and unwanted. Hearing this broke my heart. I felt a mix of emotions: anger at the person who hurt him, sadness for the pain he had endured, and guilt for not understanding his struggles sooner. I hugged him tightly, assuring him that I was there for him and that we would get through this together. We decided to seek professional help, and he agreed to start therapy to work through his trauma. In the meantime, I found myself grappling with my own feelings. I felt a sense of relief knowing the reason behind our lack of intimacy, but I also felt overwhelmed by the gravity of the situation. I wanted to support him, but I also needed to address my own needs and desires. It was a delicate balance, and I wasn't sure how to navigate it. As the days went by, I noticed a change in my husband. He seemed more open and willing to communicate. He started attending therapy sessions regularly, and I could see the effort he was putting into healing. We also began couples therapy to work on our relationship and find ways to reconnect emotionally and physically. One evening, after a particularly intense therapy session, he came home looking exhausted but determined. He told me that his therapist had suggested we try to rebuild our intimacy slowly, starting with non-sexual physical touch. We began holding hands more often, cuddling on the couch, and giving each other massages. It felt strange at first, but gradually it started to feel more natural. During this time, I also had to deal with the fallout from his mother's constant pressure about having grandchildren. I decided to have an honest conversation with her, explaining that we were facing some personal challenges and that it wasn't the right time to discuss having kids. She seemed taken aback, but eventually understood and agreed to give us some space. As we continued to work on our relationship, I couldn't help but reflect on my own past and how it had shaped my desires and expectations. Growing up in a conservative Asian family, I had always been taught that marriage was about duty and respect, not necessarily love and passion. But deep down, I had always yearned for a deep emotional and physical connection with my partner. This realization made me more determined to fight for our relationship and to support my husband in his healing journey. One night, as we were lying in bed, he opened up about his fears and insecurities. He admitted that he had always felt inadequate and unworthy of love because of what had happened to him. He said that he had pushed me away because he was afraid of being vulnerable and getting hurt again. Hearing this made me realize how much he had been suffering in silence, and it strengthened my resolve to be there for him. As we continued to navigate this challenging time, I found myself growing more patient and understanding. I learned to appreciate the small moments of intimacy and connection, and I began to see our relationship in a new light. It wasn't perfect, but it was real, and we were both committed to making it work. Looking back, I realized that this journey had taught me a lot about love, patience, and resilience. It wasn't easy, and there were times when I felt like giving up, but I knew that we were both worth fighting for. We still had a long way to go, but I was hopeful that we would come out stronger on the other side.